Hey guys, so this is my first video on this channel, and this channel's going to be mainly about mental health and my life and living with it and things like that. Sorry if my voice sounds weird or I sniffle or whatever, I'm just sick, so sorry. But today I'm going to be answering a few questions.
Hey, feeling good, like I should. When in dark, I walk around the neighborhood. Feeling blessed, never stressed.
So, the first question is, if you could turn back time, what would you like to change? I'm not sure because I've been through a lot and there's a lot that I wish I never started or I wish I never did. But I am trying really hard to just live in the now instead of looking back at the things, because you can't change the past. All you can do is change how you are now. So instead of me looking back at everything that I did or everything that I wanted to do or whatever, I'm looking at how I've changed now, because I have stopped so many unhelpful coping mechanisms. So instead of looking back and saying, oh, I wish I never did that, it's better to just think, okay, that I did at that time because I was feeling shit and I couldn't do anything else. And that's okay. But don't look back at it and think, oh, I hate myself for doing that. I hate myself for starting that. Now I've got scars, I've got wounds, I've got whatever. Don't look back at that. Just think, okay, I did that, but I'm still here now. Even though when you did do whatever you did, you were feeling so bad that you had to do that. But now you're still here. So that's the thing I like to focus on instead of looking back. Okay, next question. What can you recommend me to do to be more social? I think it's all just taking time, and you can't just force yourself to go up to someone and be like, hey, I'm going to talk to you, because that's going to stress you out so much, especially if you're not used to speaking to people or going up to random people or even just socializing with your friends or whoever, people that you know. If you're not used to that, it's going to be hard. But the thing that you can do, if you want to start socializing, that's the best thing, because you can't force yourself to do something, otherwise you're going to go downhill. My advice would be to just take it slow, do one small step at a time. Like, if your friends ask you to go out, actually go out with them, enjoy your time, forget about things, just live in the moment. And the more you do that, the more socializing comes easier to you. Okay, next question. How did you become confident in telling people what you have been through or expressing what's going on? Okay. For me, at the start of my journey, when I got diagnosed with depression, I could not see myself here. 100% not. At that time, I was so bad. So bad. But over time, I eventually started to want to get better. And I've done so much therapy. So much. And I've realised that I'm not the only one struggling with this, and I'm not the only one dealing with issues. Not a kind person would judge me on the things that I do, because if you met me, you wouldn't actually know my past or what I have issues with unless you know me very, very well. So, I don't know, it's just thinking about it that way and not just going, okay, everyone's going to judge me for everything. Because I know that everything that I went through, someone else is going through too. So, yeah, so basically I just did a shit ton of therapy and here I am. Next question. Okay, what mental illnesses do you struggle with and any tips for managing them? Okay, so I struggle with depression, anxiety, PTSD, and BPD. So depression, most people know, it's a kind of common thing, same as anxiety. PTSD, some people don't know, it stands for post-traumatic stress disorder, and it's when something really horrifying happens to you. Your brain doesn't work very well with that situation. So later on in life, you would have to deal with flashbacks, and that's when you'll start remembering some of those times, or that time that it happened, or whatever. So that's PTSD. BPD is borderline personality disorder. Most people think it's bipolar, but it's not. I have noticed that there's so many different types of BPD. There's not just one single thing, so you can't really define it. But for me, mine is similar to bipolar. And my symptoms are, I have very, very high highs, but then I later go down to very, very low lows, which is bipolar. But with me, there is no breaks. That is my life. That's how it happens. It's like every day. With bipolar, there's breaks in between. So with mine, I could be really, really happy 1 minute and then an hour later be downhill wanting to die. That's just how I have to handle it. And the tips for these, with a BPD, that's the hardest one I have to deal with, because I have helped myself, and again, I have done a lot of therapy and I've gone to things that have helped me, and if my therapist tells me something to do, I do it. There's nothing actually wrong with you. You did not choose this. You did not force this on yourself. There's nothing wrong with you. You just need to be able to look at the signs from when you were really happy, what happened before you got really, really sad. It could be you started dissociating, where you just zone out, basically. Or you could just be starting to stare at someone, or you could just start to feel sad. When you think about those stuff, it helps you to see it next time, and hopefully you can stop it. You cannot do this on your own though. You need to tell someone that you're struggling. And with anxiety, okay, anxiety is a hard thing. I have learned everyone has anxiety, everyone. It's just the different types of anxiety. When you start to get really stressed and anxious, there could be no reason for it, which is the hardest part when you don't know why you're anxious. But to cope with it, you need to find things that help you. For me, I need to go to a mirror and tell myself that I'm okay. I need to look at myself saying that. I need to look at myself saying that I'm okay. And I also do breathing techniques, which that's what I got told when I first started. So this, everyone could try. It's when you breathe in for 5 seconds and then breathe out. And you do that constantly. So it's 5 in, 5 out. But if you're really stressed, there's a hexagon one where you can draw it or you can just do it with your hands. It's where you breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. And you just do it that way. And then also, last one, depression. Oh, depression's hard. I don't really know tips on handling it. All I know is that you cannot do it on your own. Because you can't handle it. Depression is a shitty thing. And you cannot handle it on your own. You need to tell someone. And then figure out what helps you. Because everyone is different. No one is the same. Everyone is different. And my techniques that work for me may not work for you. So my advice would just be to tell someone. And if it's really bad, to go to a therapist and work with them, because they know what's going on. They know stuff because they have seen other kids or they have been through it themselves. So that would be my advice. And that would be the same for PTSD. Because PTSD, that's a hard one. I can't tell you things to do because it may not work. You need to be able to tell someone, which is the hardest part. But you gotta work up that courage, because otherwise you're not gonna cope. And when you're not coping, you don't feel like there's a future. But there is. There really is. Everyone is so, so bright. And everyone deserves a future. Okay. Next question. What is Touchstone all about? Okay. So, most of you probably have not heard of Touchstone. It's, how I've described it, is basically just a shit ton of therapy. It's a 6-month program, and it goes along the lines of CAMS. CAMS is a government-owned therapy program where you can go there once a week or twice a week. They choose how much you need it, but that's for kids with severe mental health. And then Touchstone, that's for when kids really, really need help. It's for high-risk adolescents. And it's just a lot of therapy. And you go there 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And every second Wednesday you do an outing. So you can go anywhere. And there's group therapy. There is individual therapy. There's OT. There's music therapy. And there's animation. And there's about 12 girls, just around that. It can be girls or boys. I'm actually finishing Touchstone next week. But yeah, that's basically what Touchstone is, just therapy. Next question. Is there something in your life that you are proud of? I would have to say me just asking for help. Because anyone with mental health issues would know that's the hardest part. It truly is. You having to be vulnerable and speaking up when you've had to deal with it on your own for so long. That would be the part that I was most proud of. Because now I can see a future and I know what I want to do in my future because of me being able to speak up. Next question. How was your life a year ago? A year ago, I was not doing well. Like, at all. A year ago, I was probably the worst I had been in a while. I was in and out of hospital, and when I say hospital, I mean a psych ward. Yeah, I was in and out of that because I was just not safe at home. I was self-harming a lot, and I just didn't see a future. That time was just really, really bad. And I would not wish that upon anyone, not even my worst enemy, because that is the shittiest feeling you could ever feel. But that was before I started Touchstone. And Touchstone has really, really helped me so much. I can now see a future, and I'm so fucking proud of myself to say that I haven't self-harmed in, I think, 3 months. And that is so good for me. So anyone that is going through the same thing, I just want to say I'm proud of you as well. Okay, so next question. What is your goal in life? My goal in life is to help people, to help as many people as I can. I am not going to school, well, like proper school. Well, I'm not going to school where like the campus school. I am doing online schooling, which makes things a lot easier. I can do a lot more things, and I can go more places. And what I really want to do is go overseas and help the kids in need. That would be my lifelong goal. That's just all I want to do, just to help people. Next question. Okay, this was from my friend. It's the light part of the video. Question is, how is Crumb Chicken? So in hospital, the Crumb Chicken is shit. It's really, really bad. It tastes like cardboard. It tastes really, really bad. Yeah. Next question. Have you got over your ED? It's also by the same person. What ED stands for is eating disorder. I have never once said that I flat out have an eating disorder, because I don't like saying that. I have been told I have tendencies of them, but I would not say that I have an eating disorder. But yes, I'm doing well with that. I had tendencies of anorexia, and then also a while later I had tendencies of bulimia, which bulimia is basically you stuff yourself and then you purge, and then you don't eat for a while and then you stuff yourself and then you purge. It's just that cycle. But I have stopped that, and I have stopped the tendencies of anorexia, and I am getting better. Yeah, there we go. Next question. What is a psych ward? A psych ward. It's for adolescents. A psych ward is kids or adults that are a threat to themselves or other people. So the one I go to is at the Children's Hospital, and it's called 5A. There's 3 sections to it. There is Pod 3, Pod 2 and Pod 1. So Pod 3 is for low risk. So then there's Pod 2 for medium risk. That's where I normally go to. And then there's Pod 1, which can also be called Mika. Mika is for the high risk. There's also an age restriction. So the Children's Hospital, Ward 5A, they only cater for people 16 and under. And then after that, you have to either go to Fiona Stanley, Perth Clinic, or Bentley. Yeah, so I think that's basically a psych ward. You also, in the psych ward, you get meals delivered to you, you have your own rooms, and you have a nurse assigned to you for that day. Well, it's not for a day, so there's a nurse in the morning, and then there's a different nurse at lunchtime, and then there's a different nurse at night. Yeah, but it's basically just for people that don't feel safe at their homes or wherever they are. They go there to get help and to feel safe. Okay, bye.